Hello everyone, welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for another watch-along for Euro 2020, and it's the beginning of Group E. And, well, we saw earlier on today with Rowan, who was live for what was a very interesting game between Poland and Slovakia. And what's been quite a good day of football, I think you've got to admit. We've had two brilliant goals and plenty of goals across the two games. But we are here for the final game of this evening. It is Spain up against Sweden, and this game's really interesting to call because we've got no idea what's going to happen in terms of the actual complexion of this group. We know Spain have had a lot of COVID outbreaks, which has caused them problems, and we will go through the lineups and such in a second. But I'm delighted to say I am not on my own today. I'm very, very lucky to be joined by Mr. KD. How are we doing, Kieran?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Josh, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm good, and we were saying before we went live, we're really looking forward to this game because we really have no idea what's going to go on. I was saying to you before we went live, I'm a little bit worried with this Spain team because I've got no idea to how much training these guys have had since the COVID outbreak happened with Busquets. And Sweden as well, I think, will look at this game and probably think that this is the best opportunity that they've got to beat Spain. But what are your thoughts on this game, Kieran?
I'm just going to echo what you said, not really sure what to expect from Spain. And to be fair, I'm not really sure what to expect from Sweden either. They're kind of a dark horse in this group, I think. I think a lot of people underestimating them. They've got some really good players, of course. And for some reason, they've still got Seb Larsson playing, who I can't believe he's still playing football.
It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. I didn't believe it when I had a look at the lineups earlier on, which we'll go through now because we are about 2 minutes away from kick-off. But very quickly, how are we all doing in the chat? Good to see you as always. Daz is in the building. He's put evening, Josh. How are you doing today? Oh, you're good, Daz. Louis in the building. How are you doing, mate? Oh, you're good. He's put hello. How are we? Doing very good indeed. Hope you're good as always. And then Carl's in the chat. He's put hi guys. How are we all doing? Brilliant as always, Carl. I hope you are doing very well indeed. These are the lineups for the game today. Sweden, well, I don't want to start with them. We'll start with Spain instead. There we go. 4-3-3 today for Spain. Missing a few players because of the COVID outbreak, but Unai Simon is in goal today. Back four of Jordi Alba and Marcos Llorente are the two fullbacks with Pau Torres, and of course Eric Laporte for the first time in a competitive match. He is playing for Spain. Midfield three, it's got to be the easiest midfield three I've ever had to write down. Rodri, Pedri, Koke. None of them have a second name. It's brilliant. Left wing, Ferran Torres, of course, had a fantastic start to life in his Spain career. Right wing, we've got Dani Olmo. And then up top is Alvaro Morata, looking like he's going to sign on for another season at Juventus on loan from Atletico Madrid. On the bench, a whole host of stars. David De Gea is on the bench. Azpilicueta, Champions League winner. And of course, a certain Adama Traore, which I think I would love to see come on at some point in this game. As for Sweden, well, it's the old folks' home. No Ibrahimovic, as we know, because he's out with a long-term injury. And no Grankvist. He retired as well, which is a real shame, because that 2018 World Cup, he was an absolute animal when they played. But Robin Olsen is in goal. The Roma keeper, of course, was on loan at Everton last season. Back four, Ludwig Augustinsson is on the left-hand side, and Mikael Lustig, that's right, former Celtic fullback, he's on the right. With Marcus Danielsson of the Chinese Super League alongside Victor Lindelof in the back line. Emil Forsberg is on the left-hand side, and yes, that is right. 95-year-old Sebastian Larsson is in the team on the right-hand side. Alvin Ekdal is alongside Christopher Olsen in the midfield. And then up top, as I said, they might not have Ibrahimovic, but quite a strong pairing up top. Marcus Berg of the Russian League, former Hamburg striker, and Alexander Isak, one of the young stars of the La Liga last season. On the bench, a few recognisable players if you are into European football. Robin Kajson, of course. No doubt KD will want to see him come on at some point. He's on the bench.
Oh, yes.
We've got Victor Claesson as well, Emil Krafth of Newcastle, and Philip Helander as well, who could come on at some point. Rangers centre-back, of course. And not to forget, former Swansea keeper, Nordfeldt. Don't think we'll see him at any point, but that's a former player of the past. What are your predictions for this game, Kieran? Because, as I said, I have got no idea what to call for this game.
I want to say strong lineup from Sweden, but honestly, I don't know what their strongest lineup is. If their strongest lineup has Seb Larsson lining up at right mid, then fair play to them. I said to you before, I think Spain might come out and absolutely hammer them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for 4-1 to Spain. I want to see goals, Josh.
Oh, of course. I think we all want to see goals. I'm not going to lie. I think I've had a fair few goals in my games. You had one very good goal in your game earlier. Two very good goals, I think, is quite easy to say with the Scotland match earlier on. But my prediction, I think I'm going to go 5-2 to Spain. Why not? Well, let's have some goals. We had a brilliant thriller last night with the Netherlands game, which ended 3-2 to the Dutchies. I'm hoping we get something similar in this match because Sweden have got potential, and when we see head-to-head, they've faced off 14 times before. It's mad. Spain have won the most games between the two sides, but they've only ever won 6 out of the 14. When you can see the records, I mean, it's actually come up with Poland and Slovakia instead. Spain have actually drew 5 of the previous matches against Sweden. The last match they did play was a 1-1 draw. It was actually a qualifier for this tournament. 1-1 draw. Rodrigo scored a late goal in the 94th minute to equalise to get Spain a very important point. And we're just actually waiting for the game to start. There seems to be a few issues with the goalpost, so we are going to kick off a little bit later than we were originally supposed to. And I don't know why that's not being checked before the game started.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's the Sweden net as well. Might be a bit of sabotaging going on from the Spanish camp.
I wonder maybe if they're trying to do the ghost goal. You know, can you remember when Stefan Kiesling scored the ghost goal and it just went through the holes of the net? I wonder if they're trying to do something like that.
Maybe they're trying to widen the holes on the net a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I think they are trying to sneak in a few cheeky extra goals if they can. Everybody's been putting in the chat a few of their predictions for the game. Kyle's gone for 4-0 to Spain. Daz has also gone 4-0 to Spain. So you guys have really gone in with the heavy predictions for goals. Wayne's in the building. How are you doing, Wayne? Hope you're all good. He's put hello, everyone. I think 2-1 Sweden. So he's expecting what I would say is probably the first big shock at the tournament. I mean, I think Sam Matterface earlier was saying Slovakia-Poland was the first big shock of the tournament, but I don't think I would agree with that. And then Daz has put, is that the Thiago on the Spain bench, the Liverpool Thiago? Yes, it is, I think. Let me have a check. Let me get the home team back up again. Yes, it is Thiago from Liverpool, so we'll probably see him at some point. And then Louis asked a question to me, and it's actually a question for both of us. Rowan got it incorrect, but he wants to see who scored the first England goal in Euro 2012 for England. I'm trying to remember who even had in that first game for England.
Was it Jermaine Defoe?
We'll have to see and find out.
Wait, do you want to sync up anyway?
yeah, we'll sync up actually. I completely forgot about that. What is your what time are you currently on?
1, 16, 17,
oh, well,
18,
good news is we don't
19.
even need to sync up. We're spot on.
Perfect.
Perfect. So we don't even need to sync up, which makes life easier.
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure in that group in 2012 I think we had France, and I'm pretty sure, didn't we have Sweden as well? I can't remember the other team we had, but I think we had France and Sweden. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch a great deal of Euro 2012 to probably remember enough who scored the first goal. I'm going to guess, considering you've got the question, I would assume it's quite an outlandish player. I don't think it would be someone obvious. Maybe someone who had like 5 or 6 caps for England and maybe never played again. Or it could be a defender.
Was it Danny Welbeck?
I mean, someone like Danny Welbeck's a good shout. I
feel like it might have been Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck, Jermaine Defoe, someone like that. But Spain,
I'm trying to think.
Dominating the game right now.
Called up. Yeah, they are dominating in this first few minutes, as you'd expect. I'm going to guess Andy Carroll, because I swear he got called up for the 2012 Euros, if I'm correct. And Louis put it in the chat. We both got it wrong. Julian Lescott.
Oh my God! It must have been a set piece then or something.
Has to be. I mean, that is quite an outlandish player, but we both got it wrong. Yeah, Julian Lescott, that's mad. But Spain have got a corner, and as you said, Kieran, first, 3 minutes of the game, dominating already.
Yeah, I mean, they look so comfortable on the ball, and we were questioning how they were going to come out. They've come out on the front foot.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you that. And the corner's going to be whipped in. Eventually, comes towards the path of Rodri, who tries to get the header towards the middle of the goal. It was kind of a cross towards the near post, and in the end, Spain have got the ball back. But as we know with any Spain side, they're going to dominate the ball. They're going to dominate possession, especially under a manager who previously worked at Barcelona in Luis Enrique. I don't think we're going to see much Sweden possession, are we, today?
No, they're definitely going to sit back and hit him on the counter-attack, which is kind of where Alexander Isak comes into play with his pace, and they can get him in behind. Maybe they can cause Spain a few problems, but yeah, they're not going to have a lot of the ball.
No, and there might already be a chance here. Ball played towards the edge of the box. It's going to be Pedri, who I'm really excited to see play in this Spain team. Of course, had a brilliant season at Barcelona. Who would you say is the player you're most looking forward to watching in this game from either team?
I think, yeah, Pedri's very exciting to watch. As well as Alexander Isak, of course. Probably an obvious shout. Ferran Torres, I want to see how he does, because he had a decent season at Man City. And of course, he scored that hat-trick when he played against Germany last time out. I think he's a very exciting player to watch. And a very exciting player for Spain to get excited about, of course. Dani Olmo as well. There's a lot of players in there. I could pick the whole Spain side, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of good players in there. For Sweden, I'm going to have to go for Alexander Isak. The pace and his height as well, to say he's that quick and that tall.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think when you look at this Spain team, it is a very, very different Spain team to the yesteryears. We haven't got any Real Madrid players in, which is, of course, quite a surprise. We know Ramos has been out injured for quite a long period of time, so sadly he didn't get picked. But there's so many good players in there. Marcus Llorente as well, playing as a right back, a position that, one of the many positions he can play. But there's a ball over the top towards Jordi Alba, flicked into the box, and in the end it's a pretty desperate clearance from Victor Lindelof, and just like that, Spain have already got the second corner of the game. And I'll tell you something, Kieran, I'm glad I put down the bet for 12 plus match corners for 2 in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Jordi Alba's getting a lot of joy down that left-hand side. They need to be a little bit tighter with him. The overlaps that he's getting at the moment are really causing Sweden some problems. And the only problem that I've got with Spain and corners and stuff, they've not really got that many tall players. I can think of one or two maybe that are quite tall, but Sweden definitely have the height advantage when it comes to set pieces.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the only player that isn't even in the side would have been someone like a Sergio Ramos, who's so used to being able to get on headers from corners. But there's going to be a chance from the edge of the box, and it's an opportunity that's taken in the end. I think it was Dani Olmo, yes, that took it from outside of the box, but there was no real dip on the ball, and I forgot to actually put the timer up, so I'm going to very quickly get that sorted out. Once again, as we always say in our streams, both of us are watching on iPlayer, so please don't spoil it in the chat, because especially if we get any goals like what we saw earlier on today with the Scotland match, which you very luckily got to watch, then I don't want to see any spoilers in the chat, because I know yesterday Rowan very unfortunately had a few of his spoiled, I think.
You say fortunately got to watch Scotland and Czech Republic. Apart from the goals, it was a very, very dull affair. I'm not going to lie. The Scottish don't fill me with hope. I'm not going to lie. I think they might end up getting a duck egg for points in this tournament. I'm not going to lie. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. I think that the game itself, the first 15 or 20 minutes of that match, I thought were all right. You got a very good tempo to it, but I'm really impressed by the Czech Republic. But there's a ball over the top here for Spain. It's going to be Ferran Torres, who tries to just dink it towards Alvaro Morata, and he's going to be a real menace today to watch Morata. But yeah, I think that Scotland game, I'm really impressed by Czech Republic, and I think Croatia need to watch out, because if they can take that momentum from the Scotland match into their next game, which of course is actually against Croatia, then we could maybe see Czech Republic finish second.
Yeah, I thought they defended really well, and they took the chances that they got. They were really clinical in front of goal, and nearly with every shot they were testing David Marshall, who I don't know why he was so far out of his goal for that Patrick Schick goal. No idea why he was that far out of his goal, but he did make a few good saves because it could have been a lot worse for Scotland than it was.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you. I think they worked it out. It was something like he was 39 metres away from his goal from the point where Czech Republic had got the ball and pushed forward, which is a stupid amount of distance to be away from your goal. But I think Scotland, as I said before, I think I'd be a little bit worried. I mean, it'd be very typical England to beat Croatia. Although I'm going to stop for a second because Morata's in here. Ball lofted over the top, but Danielson's done really well at the back. But I do think that Scotland need to watch out. It'd be very typical for England to lose to them after beating Croatia.
Yeah.
But then at the
Yeah, it
same
would be.
time, as you said, I can also see Scotland coming out with 0 points. And that's not disrespectful to Scotland. I don't see many goals coming for them with a front two of Adams and Lyndon Dykes.
So the thing is, though, when Che Adams came on, he actually looked like he'd changed the game a little bit. They just couldn't find him. The midfield was really bad. I thought John McGinn was really bad. And when McGregor came on, he didn't really do much. I just thought that they struggled all over the park. And that right wing back is awful. Is he called O'Donnell or something? He is awful.
O'Donnell, yeah,
He is absolutely awful.
I think he plays for a lower tier Scottish side, which is probably why he's not so good. But I mean, Souček played really, really well. I think they were all expecting McGinn to be like the one man who would kind of run the show in the midfield, and he just completely got bossed out of the game by the Czech midfield. And I think with that game as well, I think that were a big, big game for Patrick Schick, because we know what he can do. He's a very good player on his day, but I just don't think he puts in good performances enough.
No, I agree with you. I think if the Czech Republic are to get out of that group, they need Patrick Schick firing, and to get 2 goals, going to fill him with confidence for the next game, of course. And he could have had more. He had 2 shots after that, which there were pretty decent saves from David Marshall again. But Spain got a free kick in a dangerous position here.
They have, and I want you to guess how much possession do you think they've had in the first 10 minutes? I want you guys to guess in the chat as well. I'll give you a little chance. What are you thinking? How much possession?
I'm going to go 73.
73. I'll give you guys a little second. We'll see what happens with this free kick, and then I'll tell you, because I've just looked at the start. That is unbelievable how much possession that they've had. I'll tell you something. Your prediction isn't right, but we'll see what happens here with the free kick. If Spain can get an early goal here in the first 10 minutes, 10 or 15, then it'll really set the tone for this match. It could turn into quite the spanking for Sweden, but it's going to be Koke who's going to whip the ball into the box. Lovely run forward, but again, as you said before, Kieran, really, really good from Sweden at the back with the tall players that they've got. But you guys have been putting predictions in the chat. Louis said 87, Kyle 82%, Daz 50. I think you might be a little bit too far off, Daz. 90% possession Spain have had in the first 10 minutes of the game. That is unbelievable.
I mean, if you're Sweden, what do you even do with that? Because you're just watching the ball be passed around you, really. I mean, there's nothing they can do. And everyone was questioning Spain before the start of the tournament, and I was always thinking in the back of my mind, they've got a really good squad. They've got a nice blend of youth and experience in their side. I know they've not got Sergio Ramos, who's kind of carried them a bit in the last couple of tournaments, but they have got a really, really good side, like the likes of Pedri and Pau Torres, for example, mixed with the likes of, I know Busquets has got COVID, but Busquets and Jordi Alba, for example, Alvaro Morata's quite an experienced player. They've got a really nice blend of youth and experience, and they could go far in this tournament, of course. And they're going to have an actual back two pairing of Pau Torres and Laporte that can start to build some sort of cohesion and build a partnership.
Yeah, I think it's weird, isn't it? Because usually when you go into these big tournaments, Spain are always up there as a favourite to win it. But it's strange because it feels like a new generation of players for Spain. You know, we had that team of the yesteryear where chance for Morata, who's gone in, ball still in play. I actually thought it was going to be given as a free kick to Sweden. Yeah. And Danielson has had to run the ball out of play for a Spain throw-in. But I think it's a new generation of Spain players, and as you said, they've got a really good mould of players who've got lots of experience at an international level, and then they've got promising good youngsters like Pedri and Llorente, who's in there. And as I said, we're so used to the old team like the Xavis, the Iniestas, the David Villas and Torreses of Spain. I bet it's nice for them to not be under as much pressure, because all the eyes of the world are on pretty much whoever comes out of Group F to win the whole tournament. And I think as well, England are another team that have got a lot of eyes on them, and maybe that's just England being England and always putting pressure on themselves. But I think I agree with you. I think they could go far.
Yeah, I think there was always bound to be some sort of drop off for Spain when they lost the likes of Xavi and Iniesta and Fernando Torres, David Villa, that sort of generation of player. There was always bound to be a drop off because of how good those players were. But the players that they've got up and coming, it's looking good for Spain. That's all I can say. And like you said, there might be dark horses for this tournament, which is incredible to say about a Spain side, because we're used to Spain, being favourites for tournaments. They've won this tournament before many times. Of course, they've won the World Cup. Like that sort of team, and we're saying they're dark horses for a tournament.
It's mad, and I think when you look at the whole team as well, I don't think there is one player who is out of form. I think they all came into this in form. Laporte, of course, winning the Premier League with Man City. I think even Morata, in a season where Juve did struggle, played a really crucial part in getting him into the UCL. The two fullbacks have had a brilliant year. Jordi Alba has been great for Barca, even if they've struggled. Pedri as well. There's not many players in this team that have come into the squad from a bad league run or bad form. They all seem to be in really good form coming into this, which might work out well for them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, well, it seems to be looking that way, doesn't it? You look at how they're playing right now, and Sweden have got 10 men behind the ball. They can't even get a foothold in this game. They can't even get a foot on the ball.
Yeah, this has become pretty much a nice training drill, hasn't it, for Spain right now? And even 15 minutes into the game, we are still sat there with 90% possession for Spain. To give you a rough idea, as the ball blubbed in, and it's a brilliant save from Robin Olsen, who just gets his right fingertip to the ball, and that's the first real chance of the game we've had. And it's that man Dani Olmo, who you said was a star man to watch.
Yeah, it just goes in, doesn't it, over the head of, I think it's Ferran Torres in there, and Dani Olmo heads it down. Lovely header to readjust his head like that, to divert the ball towards the goal, just into Robin Olsen's path. Brilliant save, though.
Brilliant save indeed, and I think Robin Olsen is going to have a very long game. We're only 15 minutes in, and well, that's the first real chance he's been asked to save in the game, but I think there'll be a lot more to come, as we just see on the opposite side of the field Unai Simon, who could probably sit in the stands today with the fans, have a few selfies, and probably watch the game go by, because so far, what I was going to say before we had that brilliant chance, 196 passes for Spain, 21 for Sweden in the first 16 minutes. It really is pure domination. We are now down to single-digit possession for Sweden, 9%. It has just been a complete whitewash, and it's bizarre because it is quite interesting to watch. We've loved the Spain teams of the past with the tiki-taka football and all the things like that, but just the way that they're moving the ball around right now, it's beautiful Spain football, isn't it? As the ball is lobbed into the box.
Sorry.
It's wide.
Just give me 1 second.
It's all right. It's all good. But yeah, we just had a ball lobbed into the box then from Jordi Alba, as we said before, a real danger man in this game, and eventually I think the ball actually went out of play for a goal kick. There were a few calls for a potential corner for Spain, but nothing will come of it in the end. But 17 minutes on the clock, 0-0 as it stands. Daz saying the ref looks like the one from the England match. I'm not going to lie, I can't really remember who ref that game anyway to know if he looks like the same guy or not. But we're actually going to have a rare bit of possession here for Sweden, as the ball's lofted. And surprise, surprise.
No, we're not.
It goes to Spain. Oh
Yeah, sorry
God.
about that. I just had to sort something out for me tea. I'm absolutely starving. Adult yet.
Have you not had anything?
Oh no, I've not had any tea yet, Josh. We're just sorting that out now. But I've come to watch the beautiful game of football, and I've been watching the beautiful game of football because Spain have been advertising it beautifully. I mean, for passing anyway. I mean, I doubt Sweden can keep this up for another 72 minutes.
No, I mean it would be the most incredible nil-nil draw if they were to hold on for the rest of the game, and I'd be interested to see how many passes would be put together by the end of the match by Spain for it to not end without a goal in it. But I mean, this is just beautiful to watch right now, and hopefully
Wow.
we do get a goal soon as Spain look to come forward. And
Ah,
not the greatest pass in the world, there is it?
not the greatest clearance either.
No, and Spain again get the ball back might be an opportunity for them to push forward, and obviously because Spain haven't had to defend right now, the likes of Jordi Alba and Marcos Llorente, very similar to the Holland game yesterday, are pretty much playing as left wingers and right wingers.
Yeah, I mean, the modern day fullback is um, pretty much players left wingers and right wingers. They get so far forward, and it's their job to deliver the crosses and create the space and create the chances almost for those players like Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo who are going to try and get into those areas to attack the ball. And Jordi Alba is probably the best example of a modern day fullback. I'd say the way that he gets forward and the way that he creates the chances. And I mean, so far he's probably been the best player on the pitch just because of how much of the ball that he's seen.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it proves as well. I think with Jordi Alba, probably the oldest player on the pitch, I would guess, that he's been one of the best Spain players of the last generation. I think he'll go down as a Spanish legend. He's been at the top of his game for so long. And when you look at the Barca team now, he's kind of one of the last few stalwarts left from the pet team. He's just been that good.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think Sweden will be happy that they've got to 20 minutes at 0-0. I know they're getting absolutely dominated, but the fact that they've made it to 20 minutes at 0-0, maybe then start to get their foot on the ball. I mean, if you put
In the chat, because mine is still saying we're on 20 minutes, and we are definitely not on 20 minutes. We are way past that. So we'll find out and let's see if we are.
I've just loaded it up. It says we're on 23:30, so I think we should be fine.
Yeah, we should be all good. We should be all good. Perfect. Perfect. Back to the game then. And I still can't believe Sweden have had about 2% of the ball. It's mad.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you put that into perspective, you don't normally see a team get dominated as much, even if it's like an FA Cup tie between a Premier League side and a League Two side. They don't normally get dominated this much.
No, and I honestly don't know what the game plan is for Spain, but there's going to be a chance as ball lobbed into the box, and it's a bit of desperate defending again as the ball is just hoofed away from the goal, and it'll be another Spain corner, and maybe an opportunity to get that ball in the back of the net, because for all of the possession that they have had in this game, they will not want to come out of this match with nothing, as we are still on over 85% possession. Absolutely mad. But thanks for those of you guys that are jumping back in the stream again. Apologies, I don't know why it disconnected, but we're all good as Spain get their corner, and we'll see what they do here, as the centre backs no doubt will have come up for it because they've probably had nothing to do in the game apart from that one chance. But it's going to be taken short. Ball lobbed into the box towards the near post, trying to get it towards the path of, I think it was Mr. Eric Laporte for a second, who'd gone and tried to get a touch, but he doesn't, unfortunately. But the ball's been given away. Marcos Llorente trying to flick a ball into the path of Morata, but again the pass is just a little bit too weak, and Sweden get the ball back and finally get a free kick. And I would assume they'll play this short.
Yeah, play it short. Get your foot on the ball, for goodness sake. I mean, the press from Spain whenever Sweden get the ball is impressive, to be honest, because they get the ball back so quickly. There's always 3 or 4 players around whichever yellow shirt's got the ball, and they win it back so quickly, and they're so threatening. I can't believe this game's still 0-0, by the way.
I mean, can you imagine if Sweden were to get something It would be even more
Oh my
shithouse
God.
than the Wales game.
31
Wales got the goal.
passes.
It's mad.
31 passes they've had.
31 passes. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Because,
Wow.
the thing is, you can't really even ask Sweden to try and do what Spain have done and press the ball, because they're just going to then be so prone to open space that I'm surprised this hasn't had 2 or 3 goals in it already.
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely go that way in the second half.
Oh, 100%. All it takes is 1 goal, and this could turn into a really, really wide open match for Spain to bang a few more in. Going to be a chance, though, for the ball to be lobbed in. It's Ferran Torres to Koke. Plays it into Rodri. He's about, I'd say, 30 yards out at the edge of the box. And Spain, of course, delicately passing the ball around. No real urgency to try and test Robin Olsen in the goal as of yet, because they know that they could probably pass it around all the 11 Spanish players on the pitch and get the ultimate team goal with the way that Sweden are playing.
They just don't look like there's any urgency in that Sweden team. I don't know if they've gone out and said, like, yeah, let's try and get a draw damage limitation sort of thing, but there is literally no sense of urgency, and let's just hope that this, well, for Sweden's sake, that this Swedish backline can keep this up for the next 60 or however many minutes. But they have managed to nick the ball back, and then they give it straight away.
Oh,
of course.
You know when I said 25 minutes ago that I was worried if Spain had had any form of practice because they'd had the COVID? I'm pretty sure they must have been lying, and they've just been practicing all together for the last week or 2. Because, I mean, this is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pure domination. It's probably the most dominant I've seen a team be in quite some time in a game, and I still honestly can't believe that it's 0-0 and we're getting to the 30th minute mark.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, if you're a Spanish fan, you're buzzing right now. If you're a Sweden manager, you're thinking, what the fuck do I do to sort this out?
He looks like he's shitting himself, doesn't he? Oh my God.
He does not look like he's enjoying this game. And I mean, if you were one of the 11 Swedish players, I wouldn't be enjoying this game either, because they have literally, any time they've got the ball, they probably get a touch, and that's about it. And there's going to be a chance here for Spain to drive forward. It's Dani Olmo on the left wing. Can they finally break the deadlock? Ball's played in, and it's a decent chance that isn't taken in the end by, I think it was Koke, and it was a lovely, well-weighted ball into the Spanish midfielder, but he just hit it with a little bit too much power.
Yeah, got it all wrong, didn't he? Really good pass in by Dani Olmo, and Koke goes into a nice little bit of space behind that Swedish backline. He just didn't get it right.
I don't want to be harsh, but I think the more you watch that, the more you think to yourself, he probably should be scoring that. Just a simple little shot on the ground, and maybe you could have had that in the back of the net. But I guess as we saw, it was whipped in with quite a bit of pace, so it's always going to be hard to take it down. But Sweden get another 2 passes in before Spain get the ball back, and
they've got it back.
Now. Might be a chance here to break. I mean, I would love it. I'd love it, I tell you, if maybe Seb Larsson... Can you imagine Seb Larsson scores? And after all this domination...
It's a free kick as well.
Yeah, Sweden get a set piece and they score from it. It'd be absolutely beautiful.
I mean, they've just given the ball away by hoofing it downfield again, so...
I mean, if any of you guys are watching it in the chat, if anybody can find out, I'm going to try and find out myself, if there's any way to find out what game has had the most possession, or like games of the past that have had the most possession in a match, I would be really intrigued to find out what like top end game, whether it be an international or a club match, had the most possession for a team.
The thing is, for me, I think the longer this game stays at 0-0, obviously it's better for Sweden, but maybe Spain will start to get a little bit frustrated and start to panic a little bit. Maybe space starts to open up for Sweden. The longer it stays at 0-0, of course, the better it is for Sweden. But I think that Spain just need to remain patient. If they don't score, like the chance will come, because they're just being so dominant. It'll come naturally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's mad, isn't it, to think, well, what's Sweden's tactic? But there's a chance here as Ferran Torres drives into the box. He goes down, but it's not a call for a penalty. Ball's lobbed into the box, and in the end, it's chance which Danny Olmo takes the touch, and I actually think had he have left that, maybe Morata was going to get there, but in the end, he just doesn't get a touch. And I think actually Morata was clipped as well. Just trying to see, can't actually see him in the camera shot in the end, but it looked like he took a little bit of a stumble when that cross was whipped in. But I mean, we've seen the Spain fans hands on head in a good way, but at the same time, as you said, I think they'll be thinking, how have they not scored?
Yeah, they should be 2 or 3-0 up, I think, in this game comfortably. Of course, we saw that good save from Robin Olsen earlier in the match. Koke's chance, I think, he's got to at least get it on target. He blazed it over the top, I think. The goal is coming. It's just a matter of when, I think, for Spain. I don't think Sweden can shut them out for another 60 minutes.
No, it has to be coming. I mean, I don't know what it is about this tournament, but it seems really cursed for teams to score in the first half. I think it was something like 6 or 7 of the goals in the tournament have been in the first half. The rest of them have come in the second, which it kind of makes me wonder. Obviously, substitutes probably having a big effect in the games at the late stages of matches. But as you said, I think they could have had 3 or 4 by now easily, and Sweden would have been dismantled. And I think they do need to get a few goals on the board, because goal difference, I think, will be very key in this group. As there's a chance here and an opportunity for a move where I think it was Marcus Llorente who drive forward, but Olsen gets the touch and is able to claim the ball in the end.
Yeah, maybe just a bit too much on the pass for Marcus Llorente to get there. Maybe his touch let him down a little bit, and the goalkeeper was out quickly, to be fair to him. But Sweden, I'm not going to lie, they've defended really well.
Yeah, credit to them. I think other teams would buckle under the pressure, and hopefully, as this game continues on, they'll just be thinking, let's not leave any gaps for this Spain team to use, because, as we said before, if we do get a goal for Spain in this game, it could turn into quite a heavy battering. But they're doing all right so far. They've got 12 minutes left until we hit what should be half-time. I don't think we'll get much out of time unless anything changes. And if they're going at 0-0, I would love to be in the dressing room of the Sweden team to know what the manager is saying.
I mean, he'd probably go, good job, lads, well done, 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, tactics-wise, I did have no idea how to try and counter what Spain are doing, because everything is going the home team's way. And, of course, they are playing at home as well, in Spain, in Seville, so they have got the home advantage with the fans as well. But Sweden are doing a very, very good bit of defensive work, as Benaldo's in the building. How are we doing, Benaldo's put, come on, Sweden. And I'll tell you something, Benaldo, they are doing very well indeed right now, as we have 10 more minutes left of the first half.
It's gone quite quickly, hasn't it?
It has. It has. I think if you're a Spain player, I actually think this has been a very long half, just because you haven't put the ball in the back of the net yet.
And it must be hard for Sweden, though. I mean, they're just watching the ball get passed in front of them and past them, and they can't really do much. I mean, we talked about Sweden getting tired. Maybe Spain could get tired as well.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said before, there might be areas later on in this game where, with Spain, obviously we said with the COVID outbreak, maybe haven't had as much time to train and practice for these games. It could maybe open up the opportunity for Sweden to try and hit on the break. And as Benaldo says, he'd love to see Sweden shit out a 1-0 win, which would be brilliant. And there might be a chance here for them to come forward. It's an opportunity where Marcus Berg gets the touch, and in the end, he's just got no one around him. But they will get a throw-in.
Just want to throw in. Well done, lad.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it? It's a 0-0, but it's a good game to watch. Not in terms of it being end-to-end. It's just very peculiar to see a team dominate so much.
I'm just getting excited that Sweden have actually got into Spain's final third.
I do want to see Sweden get a goal. I really want to see Sweden get a goal. After all the hard work Spain have done, Sweden gets something, and there's going to be maybe an opportunity for the ball to be lobbed into the box. It's just lobbed, and Unai Simon has tipped it over, and I think that will have gone out for a corner, and that's the first little bit of work that Unai Simon's done, and it was a cross from that man, Seb Larsson.
Seb Larsson.
Oh.
I think it took a deflection, but Unai Simon's not taking any risks for that. Dinks it over, and
I think
Sweden have got a corner.
I think that would have gone in as well. I do think that was dipping enough to have maybe gone in the top left, but Sweden have got a corner, and I tell you something, if Sweden get a goal here, we are going absolutely mental for the Swedes, as it's going to be Emil Forsberg who whips the ball in, comes towards the near post, taken on the volley by, I think it was, I'm trying to find who it was in the end, I think it was Augustin.
It was Ekdal.
Ekdal who took it on the volley, and it's probably about as best of a chance we're going to get in this game for Sweden.
But when it came in with some real force, and it got flicked on, and I was thinking, is anybody else going to get into there? But no, it's been given as a foul on Ferran Torres, I think.
I think that was the chance they were showing earlier. Actually, when you have a look, yeah, that probably wasn't going in. It was just, as you said, just tipped over to make sure it wasn't a risk of the ball hitting the back of the Spanish net. But we go back to Spain again. 10 minutes or just less than 10 minutes left of this match. It's 0-0 in this game somehow, in what has probably been the most dominant 35 minutes of football I have ever witnessed from any team in football. You know, as you said before, we've seen teams of the past dominate games, but you know, we've seen Barcelona's and Real Madrid have so much possession, but I don't think we've ever seen them have pretty much 85% of the ball for 40 minutes. And they're going to try and push forward here as well and go down the left-hand side. It's going to be Jordi Alba. What can he do here with the ball? Tries to dink it over the top. Gets towards Morata. Could be a chance here. Oh. Morata! Brilliant! Oh, he's missed it!
Oh, he's missed it!
And literally, as I was just about to say, it was brilliant.
Oh, no.
That is a sitter from Morata.
That is typical Morata. I'm not even. That's Chelsea Morata. That is. He has to score that.
He's done all the hard work, and he's
got fair play, Jordi Alba. It's a good ball, and it's a really bad mistake from, I think it's Danielson. Lets it go past him. Morata, he's got all the goal to aim at. It's a poor finish,
and it's really, really a massive moment for Spain in this game. As Sweden look to come forward now, it's going to be Isaac on the right-hand side of the pitch. He's got Seb Larsson. He's going to try and move on his own here, but the ball's given away. And as you said, he had all of the goal to aim at, and he doesn't put it in the back of the net. And I think there'll be a few Spanish fans out there screaming that a certain Gerard Moreno, who sat on the bench, is potentially arguably deserved of a starting team spot, but it's weird because that kind of sums this game up so far for Spain. You know, we saw in the opening night when we watched Italy play Turkey, that game, they didn't have the possession, but they had, I think it was 18 shots before half-time. But here's Ferran Torres, who takes a shot from outside of the box, and well, he was trying to recreate Yarmolenko's goal of last night, and unfortunately he doesn't come off in the same manner. But they haven't had the shots like Italy did in their game against Turkey, but they've had the possession. And if they could have mixed up and had a real mixture of what Italy did on Friday night and had something similar where they had a whole host of shots on target, I think we would have probably had the goals by now. But 6 minutes left. Do you think Sweden could hold on before half-time?
I do, but I'm still in awe that Alvaro Morata's managed to miss that, because that was a sitter. Like, I'm not being funny, but any striker would be scoring that.
It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. It is the sitter of the tournament so far. As Spain look to come forward again. It's that man, Jordi Alba, on the left-hand side. And if he wants to make up Morata, he should probably get a goal in this game. And here he is on the left-hand side. And he's going to be flagged as offside as we reach the final 5 minutes. And Carl's done the work for us. Most possession he was able to find was Manchester City against QPR, when they beat them, of course, to win the title. They had 82.28% of the ball in that game. So, as it stands, of course, there's a long, long way to go in this game, but they are on course to beat that.
How was you missed that? I still can't believe it.
Still in shock.
I am, because that is a proper sitter. Like, all he had to do was wrap his foot round it, and he got it wrong.
And there might be a chance here for Sweden. And he's in. Isaac! He's in! Isaac! Tries to go round. Isaac! Oh, it's come off the post and into the keeper's hands. And that was the chance for Sweden to steal a goal before half-time.
Oh my God.
And even the Sweden fans can't believe it.
What a chance.
Oh. What an opportunity. And he did it so well there, the Swede forward, to take on the defence and to keep the ball and then take the shot on, and it's just so unlucky. Doesn't hit the back of the net, and now there's a chance for Spain to come forward, although they're giving the ball away, and maybe that opportunity might bring a bit of belief to this Sweden side as Forsberg tries to drive forward, but there are 7 Spanish players all pressing back towards their defence, and they get the ball back as we enter the final 3.5 minutes. And we go from a Morata sitter to a massive chance for Isaac, and that is one of those moments, isn't it, where we could have been sat there at half-time going, how's Morata missed that chance?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still going to be sat at half-time saying that, but Alexander Isaac got a little bit fortunate with the ricochet back off Pau Torres, but massively unlucky with the deflection off. I think it was Laporte. It just hit and then hit the post. That is massively unlucky, but a massive let off for Spain, and I think that'll give them some sort of belief for Sweden now.
Question is, can they get a goal before half-time? It's Morata, edge of the box, lovely ball towards Jordi Alba, takes a touch. There's potential shout for a handball, and the Spain players have all raised their hands. We'll, of course, see what happens with that in a second, but opportunity still on. It's going to be Koke on the right wing. Plays it into the path of, I think, that's Marcos Llorente, yeah. Back to Rodri. Into Koke again. Swings the ball into the box. It tries to drive it towards the path of Dani Olmo. It comes to Jordi Alba on the left wing. Lovely ball from Alba. It's cleared away in the end by Victor Lindelof. And with 2 minutes left on the clock here, might be an opportunity for Isaac to try and put some pressure on Laporte. And although Sweden did get the ball back, Spain, of course, doing the pressing so well. And it's Jordi Alba on the left wing inside the box. Jordi Alba might even go on his own here, and he tries to let off to Koke. And it's, again, another opportunity wasted as they come forward again. Rodri hits it from long range. Slight deflection on the ball, and we're going to get a Spain corner. Oh.
Yeah, they're ending this half really well.
This has been a very enjoyable game to watch.
I think that would have been a very harsh handball had that been given.
Yeah, I think there's been a hell of a lot of handball shouts in the last week where it's just been too close to the defender to give it.
You know, though, if that was in the Premier League, that's getting given.
Oh, 100%. Premier League refs, and of course, I know Anthony Taylor did one, and it was a different game, but Premier League refs have got an awful tendency to give handballs for anything. But corner goes in, OLSEN punches it out. We're into the last minute of the first half, and Spain still have a goal. But Dani Olmo goes for a long range. Olmo, brilliant save from OLSEN. Tries for the rebound, and eventually it's cleared away by that man Danielson, who's been brilliant in this first half. And Spain come forward again with 40 seconds left of the first half. What can they do? Ball lofted into the box. It's come towards the edge. It's going to come to...
I think that's Laporte up there.
It was Laporte up there. And maybe Isaac will try and drive forward. He's still got the ball, but it's going to be a free kick, and that's a shame. And Carl's done some more work for us, Kieran. He's said the most passes in a game is 1,033. That was Bayern against Hertha in 2014. We are currently sat on 448 passes for Spain, so they're still quite a bit off from getting that potential record. Most passes for a single player. Quite surprised at this, actually. Julian Weigl for Dortmund against Cologne. That was in 2016. He had 199 passes in that match. I'll try and find out who's had the most passes in the game at the end of the match. But 200 passes nearly for a single player is bonkers. But we're going to have the free kick here for Spain. Lobbed into the box by Koke. Last chance you would assume of the game. And it's headed out by that man Danielson, who's been a rock at the back for Sweden. Maybe one more opportunity for Spain to come forward. Referee hasn't got the whistle to his mouth yet. And Spain need to show a little bit more urgency here, because if not, the referee will blow the whistle in a second. And we've got about 15 seconds left on the clock. 1 minute of additional time was added. And somehow, Sweden will be going into this break at 0-0. Because Spain are just holding the ball in the middle of the pitch. The referee has blown the whistle for half-time. And I cannot believe we are sat here after 45 minutes and in a game where Spain have had a whopping 84% possession in the match, and they haven't scored. We had 2 or 3 brilliant chances in the game. I mean, we've got to talk about the one Sweden chance. It was Isaac, which we're just seeing now. It was a brilliant opportunity, which ricocheted off Marcus Llorente even, and hit the post and eventually landed into the hands of Unai Simon. That was the best chance of the game that Sweden have had. But Spain, they've had a plethora of opportunities, and the most important chance of the game, it was that effort which left KD in disbelief as Alvaro Morata missed probably the sitter of the tournament so far. How the hell is this 0-0, Kieran?
I have no idea how this is 0-0, of course. Spain have been absolutely dominant. They've been rampant. I think Sweden will be very happy that it's 0-0 at half-time. I think and count the lucky chickens or lucky stars, whatever the saying is, that it's 0-0, because they have been getting absolutely dominant. There's been a massive onslaught of red shirts into that Sweden half, and the fact that we're sat here and it's 0-0 at half time and Spain have got 85% possession or however much they've got, and Alvaro Morata's missed that sitter, Koke has missed a good chance, Olsen's had to make a few good saves. I think Spain will start to get a little bit frustrated with themselves, but it's a big team talk at half time for Luis Enrique, because they need to get off to a good start in the group.
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive team talk, especially knowing the fact that Slovakia, of course, won the early game. We'll talk about the other games in a little moment's time. But to give you guys a rough idea, if you have just joined us and you've missed the first half of the game and you want to know roughly what we've just been watching, it is a very good match to watch. Spain 0, Sweden 0. Spain have had 84% possession of the ball. 455 passes, which is, as I said, still quite a bit off the record of the most passes in a game. Sweden, 16% possession, 3 shots, 1 on target, arguably the best chance of the match as well, and they've only had 14% of the ball. It's absolutely unbelievable what we're watching in this game. We'll go through the substitutes all in a few moments' time, but don't forget, if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. We'll talk you through all of the content that we've got coming up in just a moment's time. But if you want to check out our social media, then it is on the screen right now. Our Twitter is at @the_top corner, and our Instagram is _sports corner_. Do go and check those out if you want to know when we do go live on YouTube. And you can also find out the lineups for the majority of the Euro games. Links are in the description, and no doubt Kyle will put them in the chat very, very shortly, because he's an absolute legend. But in terms of the other games coming up over the next few days, of course, we are coming towards the back end of match day 1, and it means tomorrow. But we've got the second half of Spain-Sweden, coming up in about 15 minutes' time, and that's with myself and KD. And then, well, it's both of us again tomorrow. Hungary-Portugal, I'm going to be starting the day off with that game at 4:50. That's 10 minutes before kick-off at 5 o'clock. Hopefully a repeat of the 2016 Euro Classic. And then what a game! Kieran's a lucky fucker. France-Germany at 10-8, Group F to end match day 1. And then we begin match day 2 with Finland up against Russia. That's on the 16th of June at 1:55 with Rowan in Group B. As well as Italy-Switzerland. That's going to be live with KL at 10-8 on the 16th of June. Should be a brilliant match in Group A. Of course, Italy, doing very, very well in that first match. Switzerland not doing too bad themselves. But are you looking forward to that game tomorrow? France-Germany?
I mean, looking forward to that game tomorrow. I think it'll be a cracker. I think France will win. I think it'll be an absolute cracker. There's a lot for Germany to prove. I think they need to have a good tournament. Joachim Löw needs to have a good tournament. Of course, it's his last tournament before Hansi Flick takes over. I think for Germany, it's kind of make or break. If they don't get out of the group or they come third, I think it's going to be a massive disappointment. which I've got them down as the biggest disappointment of the tournament, which I think I just can't see them getting past France and Portugal.
Yeah, it's a tough group. I mean, it's going to be so exciting to watch tomorrow when everything goes on. I mean, Hungary Portugal should be an interesting game. It'll be a good opportunity for Portugal to really set the tone of the group, and we get to see 3 of the biggest sides, 3 of the favourites potentially to win the tournament. And sadly, no 2:00 game tomorrow. So that's a real shame indeed, but we'll be live from 10 to 5. I'll be covering that first game, and we'll talk through all the day's action as well. But very quickly, of course, we've had a few other games today. Scotland against Czech Republic. Kieran, of course, covering that game earlier on today. That was a very interesting match. 2 fantastic goals from Patrick Schick to get the Czech Republic an all-important big victory on the board in England's group. Poland, Slovakia, another good match. Poland were down to 10 men. Gregor Skrikowiak being sent off in that match, and eventually Slovakia going on to win the game 2-1. An absolute brilliant goal from Milan Skriniar to the captain to win the match for Slovakia in that game. And then, of course, we know as it stands right now, Spain-Sweden is 0-0. Let's take a look at the benches, because we know that I don't think we'll see many changes early on, but we know, especially with Spain and maybe the lack of fitness, that we will see a fair few changes soon. So to run down that Spain bench, of course, we've got the 2 keepers, De Gea and Sanchez. I don't think we'll see them come on at any point. But we've got Azpilicueta, we've got Diego Llorente of Leeds, we've got Gerard Moreno of Villarreal, Thiago of Liverpool, Eric Garcia, we've got Jose Gaya of Valencia, Fabian Ruiz of Napoli, Adama Traore, of course, of Wolves, Yarzabal of Real Sociedad, and Sarabia of PSG. What players would you, Kieran, be looking at the bench and thinking, bringing those on to change the game up if it stays at 0-0?
I think there's an obvious player that can come off the bench and change this game, and that's Adama Traore. I think he offers a little bit something different to what Olmo and Ferran Torres do. He's a lot more direct. Obviously, his pace is electrifying. And he's a different
shit house.
Yeah, I mean, you could run through a pile of bricks if you were Adama Traore. I'd like to see Gerard Moreno come on. Morata. I mean, I don't even need to explain that one. And maybe Thiago in midfield. Maybe Oyarzabal as well. I mean, of course, they have the 5 substitutes. So I'm not quite sure. I think Oyarzabal could offer him something as well. Of course, he's had a really good season with Sociedad. And for Sweden, I think Robin Quaison should come on as soon as possible.
Of course, and this is what the Sweden bench looks like. You can see, of course, a few players on there. Kajust, Larson, not Seb Larson, he's on the pitch. Robin Quaison of Mainz, of course, the standout, I think, on the bench for somebody who can come on with a little bit of pace. And I do actually think we will see him at some point up top, maybe for Marcus Berg. Victor Claesson of Krasnodar, he could come on a creative midfielder if Sweden need him, and a winger as well. Emil Krafth, don't think he'll be coming on in this game. Ken Semmer of Watford, another player who could come on at some point. Philip Helander, Svensson Bengtsson, and then the 2 goalkeepers. I don't think we'll see either of those 2 come on, but yeah, I think Robin Quaison, you know a little bit more about Robin Quaison than I think anybody else does. You watch Mainz week in, week out. Hasn't played much this season for Mainz in a starting role, but what qualities can he bring to this game that could maybe exploit the Spanish backline?
He's a bit of a poacher, so I mean, any balls in and around the box, he's probably going to latch onto, and he's quite quick as well. I mean, I just think he offers a little bit something different to what Marcus Berg offers. Of course, I don't think we've seen Marcus Berg really barely touch the ball in the first half. I think Alexander Isak and Robin Quaison can form quite a nice partnership up front. But then again, if you don't want to play him up front, he can play as number 10 as well. So stick him in behind and feed him the ball. Maybe he can make something happen. I think he offers a little bit something different to what they've got on the pitch right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, we've seen that Spain, with the very few opportunities that Sweden have had, they do look a little bit nervy at the back, and you said it yourself. You were expecting there to be a little bit of open space for potentially Sweden to exploit while they try and push forward and get that first goal of the game. So we'll have to see what happens in the second half of the match between Spain and Sweden. As we said, if you are new as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. And as we said before, tomorrow's games, we've got 2 matches to watch tomorrow. Hungary, Portugal, and France against Germany. Don't forget as well, we're not covering it on the channel, but there is Copa America action going on. What a game tonight. If you're looking for more football, highly recommend checking out on BBC iPlayer from 10 o'clock if you're in the UK. Argentina against Chile. What a match that's going to be. That should be an absolute belter from CONMEBOL. So that's coming up a little bit later on with Copa America, CONMEBOL, Copa America. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have a 5-minute break or so ahead of the second half. And then we will be back for the action between Spain and Sweden. Are they going to make it to 1,000 passes? We'll have to find out. We'll see you in just a few minutes' time. We are back for the second half. It is time to watch Spain pass the ball around 600 times more than Sweden have. As we have seen from the first half, Spain 0, Sweden 0. Somehow, they haven't scored. And somehow, the best chance of the game was for Sweden. Although there was a big chance for Morata, I'd be very surprised if he's out for the second half, or if it wasn't a case of like when Homer Simpson chokes Bart, that Luis Enrique wasn't choking Morata after missing an absolute sitter in the first half for Spain. But what are your expectations, Kieran? Can they hold on Sweden, or do you think they'll change their approach in the second half? Because it is a really, really interesting game to watch.
Yeah, I think the second half, more of the same, I think, is what we're going to see. I expect Spain to score. I expect them to finally get a deadlock and this Sweden defence to kind of cave a little bit, because I just don't think you can sustain 90 minutes of pure domination and pure like cannon fire on your back line, but you never know. Stranger things have happened in football. Sweden might actually end up nicking this, which I'd love to see. I'd love to see Sweden nick it 1-0. Imagine honestly, the scenes.
Same. I think that would probably have to go down as one of the biggest shithouse results there's probably ever been in football, just because of the stats of the match. But we are underway with the second half. Louis did put in the chat, I know before we went and had a little break for the moment, he has got another question. Rowan got it incorrect. Who was the top scorer in Euro 2004?
I can't remember 2004. I was 4 years old.
Do you know what the sad thing is? I think I did actually look recently for top scorers. So unfortunately, I think it's a bit of an awkward question for me, because I think I know it. I think it's Milan Baros who scored the most goals at 2004. So
was that when Czech Republic went on that run though?
I think it was, yeah.
I mean, it's too long ago for me. I know Greece won it. That's about it.
4 years of age. I don't think it's easy to remember that one. But Sweden are going to get a free kick, and no changes at half time as we expected. As we go into the second half of this game, somehow Morata is still on the pitch after that miss. But let's see how long he's on for.
Yeah, he's probably pleaded with Luis Enrique to keep. Look at Luis Enrique's reaction to that. Oh no.
Yeah, let's see how long he stays on the pitch for, because I can see it hitting the hour mark, and then Luis saying, "Yeah, you're coming off. Bring Gerard Moreno on, and maybe we'll change it up." But chance for Sweden to come forward here. Ball dinked into the box, but there is no one there, sadly. So it's a very simple catch for Unai Simon, and a little opportunity which Mikael Lustig tried to get Sweden to push forward, but. Where is Lustig these days? Because obviously he's not a Celtic anymore. He's playing at IAK, so he's back in Sweden again, playing for his, I would assume, probably his boyhood club. So that's an interesting fact. But
who's Seb Larsson playing for these days, Josh?
I can tell you, Seb Larsson is playing for. He's playing in Sweden as well. He's playing for AIK. Sorry.
Oh.
So he's back in Sweden again. And in fact, he's playing with Lustig. Yay! They're both playing together.
that was nice from Alexander Isak there. Nice little move into midfield to win the free kick. Set piece FC coming up now.
You saw more than I did. I was too busy appreciating the fact that Larsson and Lustig play together, not just internationally. They play together at a club level, which is beautiful.
Oh, you'll never guess who conceded the free kick as well.
Is it by any chance Alvaro Morata?
It was, but now it's a decent chance this for Sweden to get this ball in. If it's a good delivery from Seb Larsson as well.
We want Seb Larsson to put a good ball in, and look, we're not supposed to be biased, but there is a little part of us that wants Sweden to get something here, and it's Seb Larsson with the ball into the box. It's actually a really good ball playing into the edge. No!
Oh, what's he doing?
Oh,
what's he doing?
I mean, they've still got the ball here, Sweden. But that was such a good ball from Seb Larsson, and in the end, it doesn't come to anything for Sweden.
It was a hell of a ball. I think he was linking up with his teammate as well.
Oh, it's so unlucky. And he as he tries to flick the ball in, I think it comes off his own leg. And Lustig's so unfortunate there, because I thought we were actually going to get a very good chance for Sweden to maybe put the ball in the back of the net, but Spain get the ball back. How long will it take them this time?
The Spain backline didn't even move when that ball was being delivered in. They were all just static and kind of lucky, but here they come now.
Morata! Oh!
Oh!
Big chance again. A very big chance indeed. I just want to make sure I'm not ahead of you. What second are you on?
30. You reacted at the same time as me, to be fair. 16, 17, 18, 19.
I'm like a second
20.
ahead, so I've paused it. There we go. And then restarted.
Oh.
Get his in.
Yeah. I think for Morata, it's a tougher chance to take. He kind of snaps at it, comes at him quickly. And he did quite well to get it that close to the net, to be fair. But like you said, another chance. It's a half chance.
Yeah, it is an awkward one from that position as well. It's awkward to get a shot towards goal, but he did really well there. But it's a warning sign, isn't it, for Sweden? Because I'm surprised actually Spain haven't taken more efforts on from outside the box and maybe taken a gamble and hit one from long range. Because obviously a lot of the opportunities we've had, I think we had one chance from Ferran Torres where he tried to pretty much remake the Yarmolenko goal from last night. There hasn't been many efforts from the outside of the box. I think Rodri had one as well, but there was deflection on it. I'm just thinking they've got players that can hit it from long range. Maybe testing OLSEN from long range might be a good idea, because so far, as I said, that Sweden back line, apart from the one little error they made with the Morata chance earlier on, have been pretty solid. And I tell you something, Danielson and Lindelof might be the new pairing for Man United here.
I mean, fair play Lindelof. He's played quite well. I mean, I don't normally play this well for Man United, but fair play to him. But I still don't think Spain are done. I still think they could. Oh, it's a misinterpretation from Koke there. I still think there's going to be a goal for Spain soon, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's going to be a plethora of opportunities, and this might be one now as the ball is lofted towards the path of Jordi Alba. Brilliant ball into the box, and it's headed away by the Icelandic giant. That is Victor Lindelof, the man mountain at the back, as they both have been with Danielson and Lindelof doing so well in this game. It's going to be a throw-in for Spain as we are about 6 minutes into the second half. Here's Jordi Alba on the left wing, plays it to Dani Olmo, who has moved to the left-hand side, tried to put a ball towards Morata, and it's again a little bit of nervy defending at the back from Sweden, but that man Danielson has been a rock at the back. And I don't know what it is about Swedish players in defence, but they have been very, very good so far. Really good.
Work by Pedri there.
Here's Morata. He played to Rodri, and eventually Spain are just going to have to go back here, because I have noticed Sweden are starting to press a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, seems to be a little bit more urgency. Jesus Christ. Urgency in that press from Sweden. Of course, Marcus Berg and Isaac leading that press, and Emil Forsberg, who I don't really think seen much of the ball in this game at all.
I don't think I've even mentioned his name in the game. That's how quiet he's been.
Yeah, it's weird because he was such a good player for Leipzig this season, and he's barely been involved.
Yeah, he's been very quiet in this game. We've seen more of Seb Larsson, and actually credit Seb Larsson, because I actually think he's been one of the better players on the pitch for Sweden with a few chances that they've had. Goalkeeper taking the ball long, trying to get it towards Marcus Berg. Good bit of defending at the back, and it will be a Sweden throw-in. And just maybe, could they get an opportunity from this? As we've said before, too many times today, I think in this match, they've tried to get possession, and they've given the ball away after one or two touches. They really need to get something from this, and it looks like they're going to go for the long throw. It's going to be a long throw,
yeah. Is it Lindelof taking the long throw? It is.
Oh, it is. Sweden have just hit 100 passes, by the way, in the game.
I've never seen Victor Lindelof take a long throw, so this should be good. Watch him just give it straight back to Spain.
Let's see what he does here. Long. Oh, okay. Maybe.
Why? What's the point? Well, what was the point of that?
That was a real shame. Didn't get the long throw we wanted, but might be a chance for Sweden to come forward here again. It is Emil Forsberg. Probably the first time we've said his name in this game, and he's going to play it back. And Sweden just trying to calm this game down here, get a bit of possession for what I would probably say is the first real time in the match. they've been able to get anything going. Ball lofted long. They're trying to get towards Marcus Berg, and it's again just very calm and competent defending at the back from this Spanish back line. And I still can't believe how France never capped Laporte.
One back by Lustig. Well to win the throw-in as well. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It's weird, isn't it? When you look at the centre-backs that France have got, they've got so many good ones, but Aymeric Laporte's a two-time Premier League winner, and he's uncapped by France. It's weird, isn't it?
It baffles me. I don't know what's happened there with Lustig, but referee's giving him a yellow card. I don't know if he said anything there. That's maybe the referee heard, and he's giving the booking to him. So that's the first yellow card of the game, going to the right back, who I think again has had a very impressive game so far. And it will be a throw-in. Another chance for the long throw-in. And he's gone long.
You know what? It's not actually a bad throw-in, that.
Oh, it's a good throw-in. It's a shame it's a foul in the end, but...
Do you know what? He got it further than I expected him to.
Oh, we got it in the end, at least.
It's definitely a foul. He's got his hands all over him.
Yeah, definitely a foul. Spot on decision from the referee there. But 10 minutes into the second half, still 0-0 in this game. Somehow not as dominant, Spain, in the second half possession-wise, as you would expect. Sweden trying to get a little bit more of the ball. But they still are on 84% possession somehow, which is crazy. And they're going to come forward now. It's Dani Olmo. Plays it into the path of Morata. Now onto the left-hand side with Jordi Alba. Morata making the run, and it's a good block in the end by Lustig, who has been absolutely everywhere on the pitch in this game.
Spain, to me, look like they're running out of ideas a little bit. They're kind of being a little bit one-dimensional at the moment.
Yeah. I'd say Sweden have seemed to kind of got used to the way that Spain are playing. They seem to know what Spain are going to do. As you said earlier on in the match, there's a lot of emphasis on going down the left-hand side with Jordi Alba. And he's now getting doubled up upon, which is making it so hard. And you can see now even on the right-hand side with Ferran Torres, Forsberg's coming back alongside Augustinsson. And they're doubling up on the wingers, and it's making it really, really hard.
Yeah, I think it's also the press from Spain's kind of slowed down a bit. Whenever Sweden had the ball in the first half, there was 3 or 4 players from Spain around him and nicking the ball back high up, and not really seeing much of that in the opening 11 minutes of the second half. But Spain is still on top. They just need that one chance to fall to the right person, and not a good goal kick from Robert Olsen, that.
No, I think we'll see a few changes for Spain in the next 5 minutes. I think we'll see 1 or 2 players come on, because it does look a little bit not lackadaisical. I don't think that's the best word to say, but it doesn't look as fast in terms of the...
Just a bit predictable, isn't it, to be honest?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. I mean, loyal supporters in the building. How you doing, mate? Oh, you're good. Sweden need to bring on Emil Lustig. Being on a yellow while sitting back versus Spain is dangerous, which is a fair point. I think he's played really well, Lustig. Maybe you do bring on someone like Kraft, who I think was actually warming up from what I saw earlier on, so he could come on at some point, just obviously to make sure that we don't get a red card, because we had the first red card earlier on today with Gregor Skrikowiak, and we definitely don't want to see that, as we are seeing Gerard Moreno warming up, and I think that bib will be coming off in about 5 minutes' time.
Yeah, definitely. Need to get him on as soon as possible.
Yeah, the only real chance we've had of this second half was the chance from Morata from outside the box.
Yeah, and encouraging signs for Sweden. Again, I mean, they're getting a little bit more of the ball when they get up, and they're looking for the throw-ins and the set pieces when they whack those balls forward. It's clear to see, and Marcus Berg is absolutely puffing out of his backside, to be honest.
Yeah, everybody's put a really good performance in so far, and as we said before, like Spain, Sweden will definitely make a few changes soon to make sure that they stay nice and compact for the rest of the game. Here's Jordi Alba though on the left wing, and again, as I said before, he's been doubled up, if not tripled, in terms of the amount of players around him. He's finding it really hard to be able to find any space to whip the ball into the box, and it's becoming very pedestrian, is the word I was looking for earlier for Spain here. As I'm looking at how many players are back for Sweden. You've got the 4 in the back, you've got the 3 midfielders, you've got about 7 players all back. Here's Jordi Alba though on the left wing, and well, it's a little bit of a poor mistake there from Alba, and it will be, I think, a Sweden throw-in.
Yeah, it's poor by Morata as well because it was going out of play, I think, off the Sweden player for the corner, and he tried to keep it in, and then inadvertently ended up kicking it out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, should have probably let that go rather than trying to get a touch on it. An hour in though now, or about to hit an hour in. Luis Enrique, no doubt, very enigmatic on the touchline, as you'd expect. What we were saying before, I think a few days ago, is he's a very good manager. Very good manager.
Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit frustrated though with his side tonight because they're doing everything right. They just can't put the ball in the back of the net. It just seems like such a simple concept in football, but obviously it's a little bit tougher when you've got 10 men sat behind the ball and got to break them down. It's a situation that a lot of people are very familiar with if you support big teams, because especially if you support Barcelona or Real Madrid, the sides that they play against like to sit back.
Yeah, and I think even when you look at teams like Burnley, for example, I know obviously they get used as the example a lot, but the way that they play, but there might be a chance here for Sweden.
It's got to be offside.
I think it will be offside. Play continues though, of course, with the rules. Isak at the edge of the box. Isak trying to go alone.
Oh.
Still going.
What's
Lovely
he doing?
work from Isak. Plays it in, and it's
he's
a
missed
real
it.
opportunity. Now, I don't know if the flag would have gone up. I don't think it has. And Marcus Berg, we thought we'd seen the miss of the night, and he wasn't offside.
How did Alexander Isak manage to make it through all those players? Incredible skill. Oh, it's an awful miss. He's got an open net to aim at, and he does it. Oh, he just mishits the ball. What a miss that is. That's worse than Morata's miss.
It's worse than Morata's. And the most painful thing is, obviously, Marcus Berg must have not even thought the ball was going to get to his feet in that situation. I think he was genuinely expecting Spain to get the ball back, and that is an absolute howler of a miss from Marcus Berg. And I know exactly what you'll be thinking in the back of your head, Kieran. Robin Kyson wouldn't have missed that.
Poacher extraordinaire would have bagged that. It would have been 1-0 to Sweden at the moment. But I mean, 2 massive misses and another massive let off for Spain, because let's not beat around the bush. The 2 chances that Sweden have had, they've come very close to scoring both times.
They have, yeah. They have. They've done really well. And I mean, loyal supporters put in the chat, I think of Sweden get the help they need to get it out to Forsberg. He's the one to make the magic happen with the ball. And then, of course, he just saw the miss. Zlatan is fuming right now because no doubt Zlatan would have put that in the back of the net. I think even Seb Larsson would have put that in the back of the net if he was there. But so unlucky for Sweden. And we're now, 29 minutes left. It's somehow still 0-0. This has been an absolute brilliant game to watch.
Yeah, it's been a really good game. And hopefully the last 30 or so minutes are as good as the first 62 have been. So
here's Dani Olmo trying to play a ball. It's the path of Ferran Torres. It just doesn't get to him in the end, and I'm really surprised here. I think we are about to see a few Spain subs shortly, but I was about to say I'm very surprised we haven't seen anybody getting ready to come on. One of the players that's warming up is Thiago, to bring a bit more creativity into midfield, and I think, yes, Thiago has been called, so I think we'll see him shortly. As
Too far, though.
Do you think they'll take Rodri off and go for just 3 creative players, or someone like Pedri comes off?
I'd feel very, very sorry for Pedri if he had to come off, because I think he's been one of Spain's best players. I think, like you said, maybe take Rodri off and then just go for it, or take one of the defenders off and put Rodri back there and just go for it. Have a little bit more creativity in there.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because this is a tough group. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you've got Spain, who were the favourites to win it, and then you've got 3 other very decent teams on the day. Poland didn't play amazing today, but of course they got the red card. Slovakia I actually think Slovakia look really good. I thought they looked really good today against Poland, even before
Marek Hamsik rolling back the years. He was incredible tonight.
Yeah, he played brilliant in that game. I know he's just moved to Trabzonspor as well, so we'll get to see him again a little bit more in football, hopefully in the Champions League as well, because I think Trabzonspor got UCL football. As Isak looks to come forward here, he has been a menace
That's a
up
foul.
against Spain tonight, and he's not
Oh.
given the free kick.
I thought that was a foul. He has been really good tonight, though. Just like we said at the start of the show, one to watch for sure. He has been fantastic for Sweden. Whenever he's had the ball, he always looks to drive forward, and he looks really powerful and strong whenever he gets the ball there. I mean, Emerick Laporte was very lucky to win the ball back off him.
He's such a good player. He always reminds me of a Romelu Lukaku if he had skills. He's got the height, he's got the build, he's got the speed. I think it's what Romelu Lukaku would love to be. You know, if he was a little bit more skillful on the ball and took better touches. As there's a chance here from Morata. And the ball's
Oh my god, get him off. Get him off. What was that? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see
Is that Pablo Sarabia?
We're actually going to see
Pablo Sarabia. I think that... Oh, I went through legs of Koke as well.
So we're going
Look
to
at
see
Laporte there. Yeah, I think... Who else is going to come off, though, of course? Pablo Sarabia and Thiago coming off. Rodri and maybe Pedri coming off, as you said.
This sounds so bad. I genuinely think they'll take Morata off. I really do. And we're seeing it now. And Rodri and Morata are both coming off. Yeah, Morata as well. He has been that bad tonight. They now don't want to play a striker up top.
False 9 Sarabia?
False 9 Sarabia incoming. As Morata gets subbed off. He's not been his best game tonight, has it, Sarabia?
You mean Morata?
Sorry, Morata, not Sarabia.
Actually, it looks like false 9 Ferran Torres.
Interesting shout.
I think.
We'll have to see what happens.
He's definitely good enough to play there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, what a season he's had for City. And Thiago comes on as well, so we've now got three very creative midfielders in Koke, Pedri and Thiago, as did point in the chat earlier on. That was Sweden's chance. Great play by Isaac, only for his strike partner to horrendously miss it. You need to take your chances against this Spanish side, otherwise you end up paying. And it's mad because they still aren't paying for those misses as they come forward again. It's Forsberg it was Larson trying to get the ball to Forsberg, who just couldn't take a touch. And now Spain will drive forward.
Oh,
ball's been
that was good football, but Sweden getting a little bit more possession now.
The more the game goes on, the more you're thinking, can they nick it? Can they get a goal in this game? Could they get one of the most unbelievable, I think, 3 points you'll ever see on the board? It's been one of those games.
I still think if they're going to win it, it's going to be a set piece or something, and it's going to be one of the defenders who scores, because it's just how it goes.
Oh!
Yes!
Here he is! Well,
yes!
You'll be wondering why there's celebrations right now. Of course, there is a certain Robin Kyson who's going to be coming onto the pitch in just a moment's time, and hopefully we'll see what he can bring to the game.
Get Marcus Berg off this pitch now.
Yeah, I think Berg will not be on the pitch for much longer here. I'd be very surprised if they take either of the Forsberg or Larson off.
I think it was Victor Claesson, the other one.
Yeah, I think it was. Spain coming forward. It's going to be Alba into Pedri. Back to Jordi Alba again. Again, it's on the left-hand side for Spain. Thiago going to shift it to the right-hand side. It's Marcus Llorente. Lots of space to put the ball into the box, and his cross is just a little bit too weak. Header, though, going to come into the box. Real bundle of mistakes at the back from Sweden. There were 3 players all going for it, and Dani Olmo in the end takes the volley on. And I thought for a second we were going to see an absolute calamity at the back for Sweden.
I mean, that was Man United Victor Lindelof. That was showing his showing his Man United form. That was an awful header, but yep, as predicted, it's Marcus Berg off for Kyson. And who do you think is going to be coming off for Victor Claesson? I've not said Larson. It better not be Seb Larson.
No, maybe Forsberg. That's wow.
11.
Isaac's coming off.
Wow.
Well, sorry, Isaac is off.
Wow, that's strange to me.
So they're going for one striker up top. Isaac comes off, which I'd be very surprised here. I would love to see his reaction. He seems all right with it. Of course, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed on the inside he's come off. Because I really do think he's been the best player for him.
Yeah, he's been probably one of the best players on the pitch as well. I mean, to have that little of the ball and do that much of it, I mean, they're going to have to go for it now.
Quite clearly
Sweden.
they're going 5-4-1. Quite clearly they're going 5-4-1.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it already. 5 at the back there with the one man in front. I mean,
Oh, nah, too
go on,
epic.
Robin.
I really thought
Oh.
for a second he might have had a chance to go through.
If he scores, there is massive limbs. But yeah, like you said, he's kind of coming to the side, and he's going to be very isolated on his own up there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really do think Isaac brought a lot to the game, even creatively, as somebody was able to pass the ball off. We saw the chance that Berg had where the ball was played into him twice, where he's been able to get round the defence of Spain. And of course, Robin Kaiser, I think, can do similar things to a certain extent to what Isaac can. But as you said, it's going to be a case of, I think, long ball's probably being hoofed towards him, and he's going to have to try and run onto him, as we are going to get a foul from Kaison on Thiago, and a free kick with 20 minutes left.
Just hurl him over. It's fine. I mean, Spain now it's going to get to the point where it's desperation station for Spain, and that's when Sweden can counter attack them, and the space will start to open up as they push more bodies forward. I think for Spain they just don't need to get desperate. As Ferran Torres hits a shot, it's blocked by Lindelof back there, and Kaison clears it away.
It's a mad game, this. It's 20 minutes left. I feel like this is probably the quickest game I've seen in the tournament in terms of how quick it's gone. As we are going to get a free kick for Sweden. And
yeah, they've defended excellently tonight.
Yeah, this is a masterclass in defending. An absolute masterclass in defending. They have played so well. And I really hope we don't go the same way as what we saw a few days ago when North Macedonia played, because they kind of played a similar tactic out where they were looking to hit on the break. They had to defend quite a bit against Austria, and then of course it got to this point in the match where tired legs began to kick in, and then we saw Austria grab a few goals in the game, and then we saw Arnautovic have the most bizarre celebration I think we've seen at the tournament, where he just screamed absolute nonsense for no reason at fans.
Yeah, not sure what that was about, to be fair, but the floodgates kind of opened for Austria after that other goal went in, and like you said, North Macedonia kind of crumbled a little bit, and hopefully we don't see the same thing happen to Sweden. However, if one was to go in, I think it probably would happen.
Yeah, and even last night, I think last night's a great example. It was a really tight-knit game, that Netherlands-Ukraine match. It kind of got towards the hour mark, 70 minutes, and then that became a game in which, of course, Ukraine got the 2 goals to get themselves back into it, and then they switched off. I think, to be fair, that was the keeper more than anything last night. As you said, he's wasn't the best game, was it, for him?
Oh my god, chocolate wrists, man! Like the actual dairy milk wrists, man. For 2 of the goals, and I do really like Wout Weghorst, but he should have saved that one, and he should have saved Dumfries' header. It wasn't really that much of a powerful header. He just kind of parried it into his own net, and I mean, for Wijnaldum's goal as well, he just parried the ball straight to him. And he made a couple of good saves, did the Ukraine keeper as well. I mean, he's got to have stronger wrists.
Yeah, it was a weird night for him, but there might be a chance here for Spain. Ball lofted into the middle of the box, and nobody gets it, and they're going to try and come forward again. Can they get something in this match? It's all down the right hand side of the pitch right now. A few players in the box. Lobbed ball over the top. Comes towards the middle of the pitch. Shot taken on. Brilliant block by Danielson, and that was a chance for Danny Olmo again.
I mean, he had a lot of bodies in front of him, and he just snapped at the shot. He did really well to get the shot off so quickly. We're getting closed down, and a massive block from Danielson, sticking a massive right leg out at the ball. I think the ball did go out of play, to be fair, but fair play to the Swedish players for taking no chances.
I mean, he's going to definitely be up for a shout for man of the match tonight. I think Danielson is... we are going to see, I think, Lustig go down. As we know, we get to these last stages of the game, and cramp and things like that will start to kick in, so I think we probably will see a few other changes from Sweden come fairly soon, as we are going to get 2 more changes for Spain here. Oyarzabal and Gerard Moreno are both coming on, so we finally get to see 2 of the best players in La Liga last season. Of course, Oyarzabal having a crazy season, Real Sociedad, alongside his other teammate Isaac, who's not on the pitch anymore, and then Gerard Moreno as well, having a brilliant season for Villarreal. I've got a feeling he's going to bag. I really do.
Yeah, bag the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be so much like Gerard Moreno to get the winner. Hopefully, Lustig doesn't have to go off here because he's had a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so hard for whoever's got to pick man of the match for this game if it does stay 0-0, because you could say the whole entire Sweden backline could arguably deserve it. But a lovely book again.
I think Danielson's a good shout for man of the match.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think Danielson I think every time has been the players. We are going to get another change here for Sweden. I think it is going to be, of course, for Lustig, who looks to have gone down probably with cramp, and it'll be Emil Kraft who comes onto the pitch. So Newcastle man, we did say earlier in the stream, loyal support, I don't know if he's still here in the chat, he said of course bring Lustig off because he got the other card, but he's going to come off because of cramp, I think. And Emil Kraft comes on, and a man who usually plays for Newcastle, or well, I'm saying usually, doesn't play often for him, he's now playing against Spain at the Euros, and he's going to have the 15 minutes of his life here, because Spain are just going to keep pushing forward.
He's going to have to come on and be switched on straight away.
Yeah, there's no time to get yourself into this match. You're going to have to be focused instantly in this game, as we are 15 minutes in. And again, another really poor kick from Robin Olsen.
An awful
And there might be a
kick.
chance over the top now. Ball might come towards Gerard Moreno, trying to tussle. And again, Danielson,
Great defending.
animal at the back.
Well, he did really well before to get a little touch on the ball as it was coming over. And then again, like you said, did really well to recover and head the ball back to his goalkeeper, who's going to try again with this kick downfield.
Let's hope this one's better and nice. At least got
it. It's going to go out of play. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's not having a good one here, Robin Olsen, is he?
Yeah, his distribution isn't great. I have to admit. But Danielson having a proper, really good game. I mean, he's making the big bucks in China. I think he's a Dalian Pro, so he's certainly making some good cash in Asia. But how old is he? I want to know how old is he. I assume he's probably 31, 32. 32, yeah, 32 years old. Because I was going to say, if he was any younger, there probably would have been a few eyes on him after this game.
Well, Josh, I'm just thinking, we haven't seen a late winner yet in any of these games. Could there be a late winner for either of these two sides? Like a proper last-minute winner.
I mean, we know who we wanted to go to, and I think there's a lot of people out there, unless you're a Spain fan, I think there's a lot of people out there who would love to see Sweden get a last-minute goal in the game. But obviously all eyes are going to be on the home side, who have had so many chances in the match. In fact, when you look at the stats of the game, we are still 85% possession for Spain, 13 shots, 3 on target, and 4 shots for Sweden, 1 on target. And it's just one of those games where you would think something's got to happen soon.
Yeah, I mean,
but we have said that
it's
for
exciting.
17 minutes.
It's exciting though, because like it's not been a bad 0-0 to watch.
No, I genuinely think, for me, from the games I've watched so far in the tournament, this has actually been my most enjoyable game to watch when doing it on stream. Of course, the Netherlands game is the best one, but there might be a chance here. Ball at the edge of the box. Lovely one-touch football, but it doesn't come to anything.
Why did he pass it? I thought he should have just had a shot. He got in the position and like rearranged his body to try and curl it into the top corner. He just looks a little bit scared to shoot, does Pedri?
Yeah, should have probably took the effort on there. As Dimski's in the building, how we doing, mate? He's put Dimski. He's back in the house. How's things? All good, all good. Hopefully everything's good for you, Dimski, and you're all right, and you've enjoyed the Euro so far as Spain lob a ball into the box, trying to get it towards Gerard Moreno. Doesn't come to him in the end. What can they do here? Ball played potentially to the box. It's lobbed in.
Oh, what
and
a cross!
Was nearly an opportunity for Gerard Moreno, and he doesn't get it. And now it's Pedri on the left wing. And again, Spain trying so hard to get the winning goal in this game, no doubt. Such a nervy match. You can feel the tension. And honestly, I would not like to be a Sweden fan right now, because you'll have been absolutely bricking it for 78 minutes. And there's still another 12 minutes to go. And then obviously whatever additional time gets added on, if we do get any. As Spain come forward again, it's Jordi Alba on the left wing. And again, Sweden, brilliant at the back, so organised, get the ball away, and it's actually going to be stopped for an injury, I think.
I think there was a clash of legs in there.
Yeah, Pedri
It's number 20. Number 20 who's down. I think is it Ekdal, I think?
I think it's OLSEN who's gone down, yeah.
OLSEN, yeah. There's always an OLSEN that plays for Sweden.
There's always one of them in there, always in the side.
Do you remember the two that used to play for Blackburn?
I'm trying to remember what the first names were. Can you remember what the first names were?
It was Martin Olsen. I can't remember what the other one, but Martin Olsen.
I remember Martin Olsen. Was it? Did he play for Swansea at one point?
I think he did. At one point, I think he played for Blackburn, and there was Olsen on the right at right back, and then Olsen at left back.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
I can remember the Martin Olsen from Blackburn, probably more for when he was at Swansea, but. Carl's put in the chat, these last 10 minutes are going to be good to watch. Yeah, it is going to be a grandstand finish, this. As we do reach the last 10 minutes. We will get, I would say, probably right now about 2 or 3 minutes of additional time because of the substitutions and the injury break we have had here. As no doubt, both sides, well, probably Spain more than Sweden, will be making sure that every second is on the clock. But I think... we are going to get another change in a second, and on the pitch in a second will come Pierre Bengertsen. So that'll be another change, another defender coming on in this game, left back. So we could be seeing 6 at the back in a second for Sweden.
Gosh, I found it. They were twins. There was Martin Olsen and Marcus Olsen. They were twins.
Of course, Marcus.
They were twins, and one played left back, one played right back.
Yeah, I can remember Martin more than I could Marcus.
I just had to search the Blackburn 2011-12 squad to find that. So the dedication to find the Olsen twins. The dedication to find the Olsen twins was up there.
We work hard to get our stats on the channel. That's how good we are. We put the effort in when we need to. I've got to look. How many passes are they on now? Because obviously they're not breaking the record for 1,000, but they are at 789 to Sweden's 141. A 91% pass accuracy for Spain in this game. Still 85% possession. It is unbelievable, and the possession might come in handy here because there's an opportunity in the box. Arzabal lays it towards the near post. There's nobody there to get it, and it's just cleared away desperately by Forsberg. Obviously, there's no one up there. Not taking any chances.
Forsberg there. He just wanted that ball out. And the keeper's taking the throw-in.
What an unbelievable game this is. 4 attempts. Apparently none on target, according to the actual stats. That's a lie. We had at least 1, I think. But here's Thiago. Ball lobbed onto the right-hand side. A little bit too heavy,
Jesus Christ.
And that's a terrible pass.
What is he doing? I thought that was I thought Marcus Llorente was about to take that, and I'm like, what? No, that's not. That's not a throw into Spain.
Cramp has kicked in. Somebody else has just gone down.
Oh, I'm wasting. He's back on his feet now. It's Olsen again.
Yeah, they'll probably take Olsen off here for Bengertsen, as Laporte is going to have a change of socks.
Oh, that must be why he's not playing that well. He can't even get it on.
He's so nervous, he's sweating like mad. He's got to take his socks off and change them. And I'm surprised Enrique's not sweating as much with how this game's gone. So we're actually going to get 2 changes, I think. Bengertsen, of course, we said was one of them. Kajusti's coming on as well. Just for those of you that don't know where Kajust plays, he's a midfielder. He is a defensive midfielder. So again, another defensive player on. That means we are now probably about 7 or 8 defensive players on the pitch with Kajust on his own.
He's probably just a straight swap in it for Olsen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then Bengertsen. I have no idea who he's going to come on for.
Well, there we go.
Forsberg, yeah, that seals it. That seals the deal. Definitely going for the 0-0 draw.
And the playmaker comes off for the left back, who will now be playing as... I'm saying will be playing as a left mid in this game. He won't, because he'll be playing as a left back, no doubt, as he will have to try his hardest again. Like we said, for Emil Kraft, he's going to have to be completely switched on for the last few minutes, because we said before, we haven't had a late goal in the Euros yet. We had the late technical goal last night from the Netherlands, but it wasn't like a last-minute winner. Are we going to get one here as Spain, desperate to get a goal in this match, and they need it fast? And, of course, they do have one more change left. Whether we see that or not, I don't think we will.
I think we have, I think it's Pena getting ready down there.
Oh, I didn't even see somebody there. Number 17, that is indeed Fabian Ruiz is coming on in a second.
Yeah, I looked on Google and he was called Fabian Ruiz Pena. That's why I said Pena. I thought it was the one from Villarreal. I thought it was the one from Villarreal. No, it's Fabian Ruiz. I should have looked at the first name first.
And they're going to come forward. It could be a chance here. Ball lobbed into the box, and it's a little bit too heavy, but it was a good cross.
Yeah, it was a really good cross, and Gerard Moreno probably wants to be on the end of those, not putting them into the box himself.
And time is running out. We are down to the last 5 minutes. I cannot believe we've been sat here with this brilliant game, I have to admit. It's been fantastic to watch. But Spain haven't scored as the ball's chipped towards the path. Gerard Moreno doesn't get to him in the end. And Spain will come forward again and try and get a goal. It's Pedri. And obviously, everybody is forward for Spain and everybody is back for Sweden. It really does remind me, and I know obviously it pains me to say it for you, it really reminds me of the Man United Copenhagen game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a similar game of a long time ago. I'm thinking 11 years ago. Man United versus Rangers at Old Trafford, and Rangers came and they sat like 10 men behind the ball and just played Kenny Miller on his own up front. I think Man United won the game 2-0, but it was a very, very boring game to watch because, unlike Sweden, Rangers didn't look to go forward whatsoever. I think they came to not get beat 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, there's still time for Spain to win this. Of course, there's still 4 minutes plus added time. There's probably going to be about 3 or 4 minutes added time. Still time left.
It's going to be Pedri on the ball. He's got plenty of options. Tries to play. It was a really good pass in the end. I think it was towards Sarabia. Doesn't get it, and then the referee's going to give a free kick to Sweden. And time is of the essence.
Seb Larsson, well done in there. Well done, Seb Larsson.
He's been. I have to say tonight he's been good, but he's down and hopefully not injured.
Oh no! Get back up, lad. You're at tournament so far. That's not a foul either.
Good work there from him as Koke comes off. So again, another playmaker on, and Fabio Ruiz got Cesc Fabregas vibes. He really does.
I mean, all he needs is that blue shirt and then white chinos, and be on BBC in about 5 years' time, and he's doing it well, isn't he?
3 minutes. 3 minutes left. As I said, this will make the group interesting. Now, obviously, Spain will probably no doubt win the group anyway, but if they don't get the 3 points in this first game, it will make it interesting because Slovakia will be absolutely buzzing getting the 3 points today on the board. They'll lead the table with the 3 points, and it'll put them in a very good position to be maybe in the driving seat to win the group because, of course, they've still got to face, I think it's obviously Sweden. So if they were to win that, they could even finish top, which would be quite interesting indeed. But obviously we'll have to see because Spain have got 2 other games left of their own. Poland being one of them. And it would be nice to see... it wouldn't be nice to see Spain fail, but it would make things very interesting if they were to be lingering towards the last match day and not be officially through to the next round. But I think they'll probably get a win.
If they don't win here tonight, then I think, you're probably looking at it going down to the last match day unless they can win their other 2 games. But, I mean, massive advantage for Slovakia now. If they're probably safe, we're going through if they win. If they get 2 more points from their other 2 games, they're probably safe and through to the knockout stages, which would be massive for them, of course. It were only their 2nd ever win in the Euros earlier today when they beat Poland. But the Slovakia fans have got to be hopeful if this ends in a 0-0 draw.
Definitely. Even a point, I think, would be good enough for them. I think 4 points would be good enough. But there's a chance here. Ball lobbed in towards Gerard Moreno.
Oh, is that a penalty?
That's not a penalty. And no play's actually calling for it in the end, and the referee makes it very, very clear that he's not going to be given as a penalty. And obviously we're seeing it back now.
He just came in really, really strong, didn't he, Danielson? Nah, not a penalty. Jared Reynolds looking for it every day at week. Jordi Alba might have just been offside as well.
A minute left.
Very unlucky.
I'm saying who would you give man of the match? I think we know, but who would you give it to?
A Sweden defender. Probably Danielson. I think he's been really good tonight. He's only done one thing wrong. I can remember off the top of my head.
Oh, Geisen. Oh,
go on, lad.
Get the ball.
Get there. Get there.
Come forward, and it's good defending the back from Llorente, who honestly has got an unbelievable gas tank when it comes to stamina.
That's gone out of play. That went out of play. That went out of play. That should be a throw into Sweden. That. Oh, Paul.
And 20 seconds left, and Spain will drive forward. Of course, we'll get a few minutes of additional time. Can they get a goal in this match, or is it going to end as a stalemate? Pedri's on the ball. Got Jordi Alba on the left-hand side. He's not going to play it to him. Pedri into Fabian Ruiz. Now onto the right-hand side of the pitch. Ball lobbed into the box. Gian Marino! Brilliant save!
Oh, what a save!
What a save! And it's cleared away, and that was the chance that we were waiting for.
I don't even know if he got his head on it. I don't even know if the cross just went all the way through, but Robin Olsen again. Keeping Sweden alive. 0-0.
6 minutes.
Where's that come from?
Oyarzabal plays it to Alba, who puts it inside the box. Good defending again. Kaison up against his man, and in the end, it will go to the keeper. Robin Olsen.
Dive on that ball.
And 5.5 minutes left. I don't know where 6 minutes have come from, but they've just done it to make it more exciting.
Is it the substitutes maybe? Is it the substitutes maybe? Of course, I think he did get a flick on it, Gerard Moreno.
See from this.
Brilliant cross from Sarabia.
Yeah, he did as well.
Yeah, he did.
That's a brilliant save.
It's another good save by Olsen. I mean, his distribution might be awful, but his shot stopping's been very good today.
I was going to say that spot on. I was going to say the exact same. Come on, 5 minutes left for Sweden to hold on. I mean, there could be a potential chance, obviously, depending the way that the groups go. If Sweden were to qualify and maybe get through to the next round, depending on where England finish, we could have a repeat of the quarterfinal of the 2018 World Cup. Maybe facing Sweden. There's one way to go. Sarabia, by potential chance, and it's a curler, but it's probably not as close when you look at it from behind.
I don't want Robin Kaison to knock England out, Josh.
I mean, to be fair, I think he'll be starting the next game after Marcus Berg's miss.
I think him, like I was saying earlier, I think him and Kaison can sort of get a good partnership going, but we're just seeing that chance again from Moreno.
What a save.
It's a good save with his feet, and you know what? He's very lucky that Lindelof doesn't end up bundling that into his own net as well.
Yeah, he is, and it's a moment of nerves, and you can see if you're watching the game, of course, the Spain and the Sweden fans both nervous as each other, no doubt, as Kyle's put, as much as I want Spain to win, it would be absolutely heartbreaking if they score now. Sweden have been great defensively and deserve a draw out of this, and I completely agree with you. As Pedri drives forward, ball played into the path of Oyarzabal. Now into Jordi Alba, back to Pedri again. Not really many numbers in the box, I have to admit, for Spain.
You don't know who to pass it to.
As we said, it has been a little bit awkward for them to find areas to pass it into, and that's just the class of how well Sweden have defended in the game. And it will be with Pedri again.
Is there going to be one more chance for either of these two sides?
It could be. Ball lob towards Jordi Alba, played in towards Moreno. It's saved in the end, and it was a chance for Sarabia to put the ball in the back of the net. And he
don't even think touch. No, I don't even think he knew anything about it. It just hit him.
It looked like it came
Great
off his
pass
knee.
Again. He just hit him. I don't think he didn't even bother throwing a foot. It just hit him.
And in that situation, maybe an instinctive striker would put a foot out.
Just smack it.
Oh, what a chance.
Do anything. If he does anything, it's 1-0.
Sweden.
Robin Olsen again.
A dangerous life, and Sarabia knows how crucial that chance was. And you see all the Spain fans slump to their seats. as they're into the last 2.5 minutes, and the space that opened up on that left-hand side for Jordi Alba as ball is going to be lofted back to OLSEN. And we've, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Come on. Can they do it? What a point this would be.
Imagine if they got a winner at last minute or something. Like, the limbs, man.
They got a 1-1 draw the last time these sides faced off. It was the qualifiers for this tournament. They now face each other in the group stages, and Sweden might be about to get a draw. Maybe better. Still time. Although I think they're quite happy with the point against Spain.
The way the first half was going, I think a lot of people would have been saying there is no chance that Sweden are going to get anything out of this game, but they're about 90 seconds away from getting a valuable point on the board.
Crazy game. Is Pedri going to come forward on that left-hand side? He's got Jordi Alba with the overlapping run, plays it into the path of, I think it's Yarzabal. Now to Jordi Alba, back to Yarzabal again on that left-hand side, going to take on his man. Yarzabal tries to flick the ball in. It's going to be a Spain corner with 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
A good defended in there by Lindelof, and this is where they need to be switched on, Sweden, because it's a corner. It's the last minute. Everyone is up. There's only one man back for Spain. That's Jordi Alba. I mean, both sides need to be switched on here. No loose balls or anything. Sweden hit them on the counter-attack.
KD said, are we going to get a last minute winner in the game? Corner's lobbed in. It's towards the near post, and it's a chance that goes wide. And surely now, that will be that for Sweden to gain a valuable point.
Yeah, massive point for Sweden. Yeah, it's comfortable for Robert Olsen to let it go. Didn't really connect with the header Jordan Renault much. But
I mean, we've
watched a 0-0, Josh, but it's been quite an entertaining one.
I've really enjoyed it. I mean, loyal supporter said that's 90 minutes I'm not getting back. Who do you support loyal support in terms of national team? Because I do think it's been, maybe I'm just weird, maybe we're just weird. I think it's been a very enjoyable game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a neutral, I'm sure it's enjoyable to watch. But if you're a fan of probably Spain, you're probably not happy. Sweden,
chance.
You're probably buzzing, aren't you?
We're now on the 96th minute. One more chance maybe. Ball lobbed in. Good header away from Lindelof. Comes towards the edge of the box. And the referee blows the whistle. And Sweden somehow have stolen a point away from Spain.
How has that game ended 0-0? What a good game of football to say it was a 0-0 draw.
Wow. I mean, that was such an enjoyable game to watch. And if you want a masterclass in defending, Sweden have just given us that. They all played their hearts out to get a draw against Spain. And in a game in which, let's not forget, stats-wise, they had 86% possession, which I believe could be on course to break a record for most possession in a match. I would assume it's probably broken the record for the most possession in an international match ever. They had 917 passes, which nearly broke the record for the most passes ever in a match on record. They had 17 shots, 5 on target, many chances. Morata had a glorious opportunity which he should have put in the back of the net. Gerard Moreno had a brilliant header that he should have put in, and then we had that chance the 93rd minute which Sarabia, all he had to do, as KD said, was put a foot out and he would have got himself a goal, and they didn't get it. And Sweden, Kieran, they get a point. What a brilliant match.
Yeah, and they got exactly what they deserved. I mean, a masterclass in defending, as you said. And do you know what? It puts them on a really good, a good stead to go on and get more from this group. Because if they beat Slovakia and they beat Poland, which I can see them doing, because they've got the threat. The threat was there tonight against a good Spain side. I think they can beat Slovakia and Poland, or maybe get a point against one of them and beat the other. I think that maybe 6 or 5 points might be enough to put Sweden through. Of course, they're all buzzing. They've done it for the fans tonight. I know they didn't win, but it will feel like a win.
Absolutely, and you can see him going over to the fans now, and what a brilliant game it was in the end, and an incredible result for Sweden. As you said, the hardest game is out of the way now. They've got 2 much more favourable matches coming up, and potentially, maybe we could see Sweden be one of the sides that get through to the next round of the competition. And obviously, we've seen the manager now with Seb Larson. I think they'll both be thinking, what an incredible result that we've got. Law supporters asked in the stream, will you be doing a stream for France versus Germany? Well, I'm glad to tell you, yes, we will be, because that is all of the action today from Euro 2020. But don't worry, we will be back tomorrow for 2 more games, and it is myself and KD who'll be back once again with plenty more action. You can join me tomorrow from 10 to 5 for what could be a brilliant game. Could we have a repeat of the Euro 2016 Classic, Hungary up against Portugal in Group F, and then the game we all want to watch, 10 to 8, KD, France versus Germany. It should be an absolute belter, that one. Really looking forward to that game. Finland-Russia, Group B, that's on the 16th of June, 5 to 2. You can join Rome for that for the first game of match day 2. And then we've also got Italy versus Switzerland. That should be a really interesting game, 10 to 8 on the 16th of June. You can join Kale and probably myself for that game. It should be a really, really good game indeed. But I just want to say a massive thank you, KD, because I tell you what, originally I was going to do this on my own. I bet you're very glad you watched this game now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I watched it with you. It's nice to watch it with someone and talk about it, of course. And it was, like I said, it was a very good game.
A very, very good game indeed, and no doubt we'll have 2 brilliant, brilliant games tomorrow. As we said, do join us for Hungary, Portugal, and France versus Germany. Could we have some crackers? We'll have to find out indeed. You can check out our social media as always. Twitter is @the_top corner, and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Links are in the description and in the chat as always. Highly recommend going and following them. You can find out on those social media pages when we go live, and of course the lineups for the games. But as for now, Wayne saying, good game, thank you so much, Josh and Kieran, for your commentary. I hope I spelled your names correctly. Thank you very much, Wayne, you're an absolute legend. We'll be back tomorrow from 5 PM for the first game, Hungary against Portugal. But as for now, thanks to KD once again, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more Euro 2020 action. Take care, see you later.
See you later, guys.